You're listening to the Dirty Air Podcast.
Hey, let me hear some Skinner, brother.
It's in the face, Dillman. In the face.
I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't know how to party.
And now, here are your hosts, Chuck Bush, Jonathan Merriman, and Matthew Dillner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to an extra smooth and special edition, not live, of the Dirty Air Podcast, live here, kind of, from the NASCAR.com radio studios outside the NASCAR Hall of Fame in fabulous Charlotte, North Carolina. I stumbled through some stuff because Jonathan Merriman and Matthew Dillner are laughing.
We're having fun.
We are having fun. We're back from Vegas. We're outside of our glass case of emotion, the pod that was last week. But we had a good time and tried some things out. It was a lot of fun, I thought.
First time doing the show live, Dirty Air Podcast. So we need to do that again, man.
I enjoyed it.
That might be, really? I enjoyed it.
Wonderful analysis.
It was fun. Astute analysis there, Jonathan. But no, it was a good time. And
Vegas
hopefully
was great.
In 2016, we'll try a couple more of those live
Yeah,
things.
I'd like to do it.
We'll see. We'll find out. If you liked it, let us know. But Vegas. There's
Vegas,
a lot
baby,
of things
Vegas.
that happen out there, man. What was your favorite part about Champions Week?
Jeff Gordon's speech. But I mean,
Jeff Gordon's speech?
I was in the room
Yeah.
during the banquet, and you know, I got a little teary-eyed when he kind of got a little teary-eyed giving his speech. It was a great thing to be a part of, something I'll never forget. So, thanks, Jeff, for 23 years in the sport and for that moment.
Yeah.
I just think between the amazing story of Kyle Busch, his speech, the end of Martin Truex Jr.'s speech, which I thought was one of the most heartfelt speeches in the history of the NASCAR banquet, and then to have the moment of Jeff Gordon's retirement kind of speech there, I got to agree with him. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye on the house.
I watched it on TV. I wasn't in the banquet.
I got to wear a tux.
It was cool. Yeah, your tux was a little small.
It was definitely a little small.
You looked a lot like Penn Jillette.
I look
will
better
say.
than Matt Strickert.
Yeah, that's cool. But I will say this. My favorite part about that weekend was the victory lap and that live extravaganza broadcast thing that we did simulcast with SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. Claire B. Lang was in the car with Kevin Harvick screaming her head off when they did that burnout. That, to me, was just really cool.
And this guy was at the burnout station right here, Jonathan Merriman, getting smoke all in his eyes. And we had a great time bringing that to you live on NASCAR.com and Sirius. It was definitely unique.
Well, and it's been a big season in general. I mean, to me, this has been one of the most exciting seasons that I've worked in NASCAR with the way the chase played out and the way it all ended. And if you look at the beginning of the year, you had, throughout the whole year, really, Team Penske was wicked fast all season. Joey Logano had the most number of poles. He had the most wins
Yeah,
on the
most
season.
wins and most poles.
This team seemed like they had it all together. But Jonathan Merriman.
Martinsville. Well, first off, Kansas happened, and I told you after Kansas
You did.
that moving Matt Kenseth could have been the best move of the chase and also the worst move of the chase, and that played out at Martinsville with both Penske guys.
And not the season that they really hoped for
Yeah.
over at the number 2 camp, even though they made a chase and they made a good effort. But next year, they're going to be stronger. Why? Wood Brothers are coming back with a full-time effort with Ryan Blaney. And remember, that's kind of like a Penske satellite team. So all that data, all that info that they're going to learn, having pretty much a 3-car team is going to make Penske even stronger.
Low down for force will help Brad as well.
I think they're set. The past 2 years, they have been setting themselves up. The way that team is gelling, if you will, they're at that point where having that third ride, the Wood Brothers, I mean, it's almost a Penske car, but it's still the Wood Brothers 21, and seeing that out there is going to be awesome.
And let's not forget the absolute leadership of one guy that has pretty much put himself on top of the ranks as far as crew chiefs in this garage, and that's Todd Gordon. The way he led that team through all that adversity is something special.
At Martinsville, you could hear him come over the radio and say, no, we're doing this our way. We're doing this our way. So I think that speaks a lot.
Leading the season in wins for 2 years in a row, and they're a force to be reckoned with, and they're not going anywhere.
Well, we had them, both of them, in the studio during our Chase Media
Had a little
days.
fun with them.
We had a little bit of fun with them. Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski were in studio with us. Brad called me some names, but I think we got some sound of that. So let's roll that B-roll, if you will.
I'm in the way. If there is someone driving around a Model T and you're mad because you can't get to the place you're trying to get to as quick as you'd like, please don't honk the horn. I'm going as fast as I can go.
Why are you sitting so close to me?
Because you asked me to.
There you go.
And rubbing is racing. If you start with a K when you're pronouncing my name and you end with a ski, I just kind of like round it together.
That's him in a squirrel costume with a Superman cape
it's
on.
Fat Chuck in a
How
squirrel
vain
costume.
is that?
Lumber sexual.
He called me a lumbersexual.
He got you.
He
What
got
is a
me.
lumbersexual, Chuck?
Well, it's just,
An arborist.
not really. It's someone that thinks they're outdoorsy, but they're really not.
Okay.
But the thing is,
I'll
I'm
hand it to
actually
you.
outdoorsy.
Yeah, you go outside sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can
long
chop down
walks on the
trees.
beach.
You look like a lumberjack right now.
I do.
You could probably be a lumbersexual.
Hey, listen, a lot
right
of people picked on Rutledge Wood for his plaid suit at Vegas this week.
was a nice
I'm here
touch.
to tell you, I loved it. And Rut, this is for you. Plaid Nation right here. In Plaid we trust.
Well, you know who nobody was picking on this season? That was Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, what a season Furniture Row Racing had. Jonathan and I have been talking about it all year. And just the Pocono win, the story, the plot line for coming back like that. But a bunch of top 10 finishes, a great run for them. A lot of people thinking, though, are they going to be okay next year? Remember, this is our last run with Chevrolet. They're switching to Toyota next year, but don't fear. They have a Joe Gibbs Racing alliance. I think, Jonathan, they're going to be just fine.
They also have Cole Pern. If they retain Cole Pern, they retain the speed and also low downforce next year. So the Joe Gibbs camp has that figured out. So that's going to help, I think, Furniture Row Racing.
To use a Stuart Scott line, Cole Pern is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Darn
I mean,
straight.
that man wearing the same shirt all season. By the end of the year, it had a couple of nicks and tears in it. But I think, like you said, that's going to be that glue that gets them.
Martin's
pulls
Canadian
them
brother.
together.
That's what he
Hey,
called
man.
them in the banquet.
Yeah, and during the banquet, he got a little misty-eyed in his speech. Because, I mean, it's been a rough couple of years, and to have that type of season.
Redemption. That was just absolute redemption and a wonderful human interest story.
And
Good things happen to good people.
Excellent.
And I think it'll carry on into next season. You know who else got a little misty-eyed during the banquet? We touched on it earlier, Jeff Gordon. And that Hendrick camp. You had the Drive for Five still alive there at the end. A team that we said at the beginning of the year, or the beginning of the chase, is like, oh, man, I don't know if they've got the stuff. And then, lo and behold, boom.
Gordon had a run of bad luck there for a little while. I mean, he was running well and things just happened. So it wasn't all bad. He won at Martinsville. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he went off.
And they had a chance to get the championship.
Yeah.
That's probably the most excited I have seen a driver to win a race was Jeff Gordon at Martinsville.
That quote, "We're going to Homestead," will be played on loop forever.
Hendrick Motorsports, though, with Jeff Gordon leading the charge there into the chase. Remember, Jimmy Johnson was the leader at the end of the regular season with 5 wins. Casey Kane, well, he kind of looked a little lost at some points in the season, so we don't know what's going to happen there. Dale Jr. with a new crew chief, arguably an excellent year for them with 3 wins. Chase Elliott's going to be the big question mark for them next year. He only had 1 win in the Xfinity Series this year. He did get that big Snowball Derby win for some confidence heading into this season, replacing Jeff Gordon.
I think next year is going to be a big learning curve for Chase
time.
Elliott. He ran a couple of races this year, and so he's got a little bit of seat time in a Cup car, but I still think it's going to be a little bit. But he's got a good team there to rely. I mean, he's got a lot of talent.
Veteran leadership.
And Jeff Gordon's not going away. So he still can, hey, Jeff, you got 4 titles. And Jimmy, you got 6 titles over there. What do you guys know?
He has all the resources in the world to accomplish what he wants to accomplish.
Strong contender for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, I mean, next year's Rookie of the Year class is going to be big. But I think you're right. I think Chase Elliott's got a big shot at it. And you touched on it with Greg Ives, Chase's old crew chief. Now in his last year was his first year with Dale Earnhardt Jr. They showed a lot of resolve this year.
They did, and that win in Phoenix was a good confidence boost for that team because at times during the season, it looked like their communication level and where they were going was up and down and up and down. Still a great season for Dale Earnhardt Jr., but they really gelled there at the end of the season.
And Junior got a little emotional with that first Talladega win, well, his only Talladega win this year, talking about it being close to his dad's birthday. So that was good to see, talking about everything from his engagement to everything else.
Life is good for Dale Jr. Also, 2 wins on the super speedway. So, hey, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the man when you go to those tracks, and that hasn't changed.
They'll bring a piece for Daytona.
I'm looking forward to that. I'd like to see that 88 car there win another Daytona 500. I think that'd be nice. That's my North Carolina thing right there. But, I again, with the Chase Media Day stuff, we missed out on having Dale Earnhardt Jr. in here and Jimmy Johnson because they were eliminated before they were slated to get in here. But you know who we did have?
Oh, yeah.
Gordon.
We had 4-time champ Jeff Gordon sitting where you're sitting right now, Matt Dillner. Which, so, you got a 4-time seat right there. Let's roll that footage and hear what he had to say.
You have your own expressway now, or highway.
Yeah.
It's the big sign on the side of the road.
I pick it up about 10 miles per hour when I go through there because I think the chances of me getting out of that ticket are pretty good. I remember going to that car wash there, and I can remember the first couple of times I went there. I had to pay full price, and nobody knew who the heck I was. I'm sure I'm in for a whole lot of new experiences starting next year. Am I prepared? I'm sure that I'm not, but I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Jeff, we'll buy you a coffee in the compound when we see you out there on race weekend.
Because it's free.
It is, yeah. It is. I'm all about some free coffee, man.
How generous of Chuck Bush.
I know, yeah.
Of course, Chuck would offer free coffee.
Why not, man?
That's Chuck.
It's good.
He has an expressway named after him, and you're going to just
It's
Are you going
the
to put cream
little
and
things.
sugar
I
in
bet
it?
you it'll be cheap
No,
coffee,
because I
too.
don't know how he likes his coffee. I mean,
You could ask him.
well, you have to. It's like, how would you like your coffee? You want some sugar?
No, it should be if you order coffee, it should be black, unless you say so.
It's regular coffee should be
Yeah,
black coffee,
exactly.
right? Yeah, regular coffee.
Anyway.
You Yankees, your weird coffee. Anyway, moving on to the next team that we had some stuff to talk about with Stewart-Haas Racing. Last year's champ, Kevin Harvick, not this year's champ.
This guy's been itching to talk about
Well, because
this.
I was thinking about it on the drive in
chomping at
this
the
morning.
bit.
I'm a weird guy, okay? I love
we know.
racing, and I was thinking about it. And Kevin Harvick is in his second season with Stewart-Haas Racing. His second year crew chief, Roddy Childers. He was going for his second title in a row. Okay, he goes out there, and after his second win of the season, he goes out there and finishes second like a slew of times, almost a record amount of times he finishes second. And remember, domination of the season for Kevin Harvick. He was most in laps led with over 2,000 led laps. Okay, who finished second to him in that? 1,000 laps behind? The 22 of Joey Logano. But guess who just missed out and finished second in points? That would be Kevin Harvick. That's a lot of twos.
How many times did he say two just then?
I'll breathe.
Numbers.
He's proud of himself.
Yeah, he remembered a lot of twos.
That's a lot of twos right
It
there.
is.
And, there's a lot of numbers and a lot of things with Stewart-Haas right now because if you look at Kurt Busch,
Yeah,
what an
don't ignore the
amazing
41.
season. You can't overlook that 41 bunch.
Yeah, he was fast all year long, and I mean he showed some resilience there towards the beginning of the season. So I mean
Things are
he did
okay
well.
with him right now. And just like it was with his brother when his life got right, we saw the performance on the track, and we saw that with Kurt Busch this year. Hopefully, we will see that next year, the last season of Tony Stewart on track. So Stewart-Haas has a lot of question marks, of course, but a lot of talent.
Monster Energy, Nature's Bakery coming over there. So it's a big
New
year
crew
for
chiefs.
Stewart-Haas, especially in this day and age.
Oh, yeah.
Sponsorship's hard to find, and they're
They
reeling them
seem
in.
to be running at full steam over there. I mean, hopefully, Tony Stewart last season. I hope he does not have the season like he had this year. I hope he can pull off a season like Gordon did.
Low downforce. I think Tony will improve.
And Boog is coming over there. Mike Bogaritz, I'm not very good at pronouncing his name, but he was a race engineer on the 4 and has a lot of talent to bring over to that car. So hopefully that combination gels real quick. And for all of Stewart Nation, they could see that number 14 with a slick new paint scheme in Victor Lane one more time.
And we got one last shot at it.
Yeah.
One last shot.
The Daytona.
The Daytona 500. Maybe they'll take Smoke and rename him the closer. Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for. But, we had Kurt Busch and the defending champ, Kevin Harvick, in studio with us for Chase Media Days. So let's roll that sound and listen to some fun stuff they had to say.
Do they still give out sporks?
He
at
had one
KFC?
this weekend.
I
know.
used one this
They got him at
weekend.
Bojangles.
At Bojangles.
Yeah.
Yes, for
It's
dirty
genius.
eyes.
Genius.
Do you like dirty air?
I don't like
No,
dirty air.
no.
You know,
He got that.
Oh, yeah, so he got his own little miles, too, like in Victor Lane. He had a stuff
We got
version,
that
huh?
one just in case that it didn't all work out. So we weren't leaving empty-handed without miles. So.
Did you put it in the toy room, or where'd you put it?
Oh yeah, trophies on the floor in his playroom. Yeah, he's the only kid that that has a playroom
awesome.
a playroom that smells like beer.
Oh, might not be the only
You
kid.
just can't get the stench out of the trophy.
It's a poor.
Wow. Keelan getting the trophy in his playroom.
He's having a great childhood, I'd say. Past 2 years has been great for Keelan. He's got a Miles the Monster trophy and
he's got his own little Sprint Cup
trophy. So he's doing just fine.
Cute kid. And we got one last team to talk about.
I wonder who that would be.
I don't know. Is it
Yo Gibbs?
Yo Gibbs? Joe Gibbs Racing. At the beginning of the year, they shake things up, move the crew chiefs around. It's like, all right, how's this going to play out? How's it going to play out? How did it play out?
Wonderfully.
All 4 in the chase?
Yep.
It didn't end that way, and it wasn't always a Chuck.
They struggled.
They struggled. I remember after Phoenix, Denny Hamlin saying that the Joe Gibbs Racing cars, quote, sucked. Joe Gibbs Racing, Coach Gibbs took them into a meeting, a big competition meeting. And guess what? Things improved from there. And when Kyle Busch came back in those, I think it was 25 races, 12 wins as an organization. So things not only picked up when Coach kind of kicked them in the butt there, had that competition meeting, but when Kyle came back and that team was complete, Joe Gibbs Racing was almost unstoppable.
I've said it all year long that he was the missing link. I mean, when he came back, it's from the Coke 600, his first points race back, they flipped a switch, and it was unbelievable. The feedback that guy can give you on a race car is unlike any other. I mean, you can call it coincidence if you want to, but I refuse to believe it being a coincidence. He turned the program around.
2 wins as an organization while he was gone.
Just one, right?
12 wins once he came back.
That
says it all. And that's not just Kyle Busch. That's Matt Kenseth and that whole group and that whole organization.
You touched on it earlier, Jonathan. Coach, and you guys are both Coach, getting them together. We saw football Coach Gibbs get that team in line. I mean, he did a little bit of shake-up early in the season, and there's like, no, lock it up, get out there. And I think they stepped up to the plate.
Well, Kyle told us after Homestead that in Adam Stevens, he found his Chad Canals to his Jimmy Johnson, if you can follow me there.
Look at their success in the Xfinity Series together. That was a natural fit, and Coach Gibbs knows who to put with certain people to help motivate them.
You have a baby, you have a traumatic injury, and you have Adam Stevens. All 3 of those things put together make a more mature, level-headed, behind-the-wheel Kyle Busch.
Sports story of the year, hands down, right there. Kyle Busch, 2015. Put it in the book. If it doesn't win an ESPY, if it doesn't do all that, I'm dropping the mic and walking away.
It's like Jordan's flu game just extended out over a whole season.
64% of the time that he was in the car, he finished in the top 10.
Yeah, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spotted him 11, took home a championship.
I mean, and that's the thing that we talked about in our pod of emotion in Vegas was that you can liken this to stick and ball sports where you have a quarterback who gets injured and has to sit out a couple of games and then comes back. And you know what? He's in the playoffs. They go and they win a championship.
So, no asterisk there, man. That was pure brilliance.
We had a couple of the Joe Gibbs Racing drivers. We had Carl Edwards. We had Matt Kenseth and the 2015 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion Kyle Busch in studio with us on the Dirty Air podcast. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
You guys have so much technology here.
I know,
There's
we've got
so much
stuff
happening right
Machines and wires and a lot of dirty air.
Really cool. Yeah, dirty
we got
air.
some die casts.
Oh, I didn't get the
my
double,
Charlie Jazombek diecast.
Double entendre of
the dirty air.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's good.
You should have like radio boys.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's
well,
easy
we're
to have
here on the
these
dirty
microphones.
air.
Yeah. You brought us presents?
No.
Oh.
No.
So
that was supposed to be a joke, so we should kind of laugh. You know, presents.
I've only had him pee on me once.
Okay.
Actually, so that's not too bad. Have you ever had it come out like a soft serve yet?
No.
It's hilarious.
I'm glad I already ate lunch.
Are you going to remember this interview?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But anyway, to answer your question, I forget a lot of stuff.
What other tracks do you plan on rebranding?
We don't have any. I mean, it's
Carltona?
Carlsonville is which
Carltona?
That's kind of better. I kind of like that.
Carltona.
Carladega?
Carladega.
Carladega, yeah.
Carladega.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks.
It still kind of haunts me, that baby talk that you and him had. I mean, you shared that in common.
I finally saw it, by the way, like 2 weeks ago. And I texted Kyle and I was like, it happened.
It happened. And you didn't even have to say anything else. You said it happened. And he probably knew exactly what you were talking about. And we can leave it at that and move on because I don't want to.
Me neither.
I got to have
I don't
dinner
want to touch that
tonight.
either.
Yikes.
you got a baby, and now we're in the non-racing season. So
Yeah, the off season.
what's your off season looking like?
Off season is going to look like staying home as much as I can, going to visit some family, and of course I'll be doing something racing at some point.
Christmas shopping?
Yeah, well, it is the holiday season. That's my favorite part of the season. I get geeked up for Christmas in the holiday season.
You get geeked up over
Oh,
things?
dude, I get geeked up big time.
Shocking. I wouldn't have believed that.
I would sing Christmas carols right now if they would let
Please
me.
don't.
I won't.
Yeah, we won't let you. What about you, Jonathan? What's your off-season plans?
I got a date with a couch.
I think we all do.
Yeah. So that's about it. Go home, see family,
I know
spend
there's
time with the wife. Got a new puppy.
new puppy. Oh, he's
I like
switching
Christmas.
hats.
I like Christmas.
If you're watching on YouTube or NASCAR.com, they're putting on their Christmas hats. So
I really like Christmas.
this is
We got some gifts. to
Dilner
hand out.
Dilner has a toboggan on that says
Yes.
your sweater is ugly.
I wish Chuck was wearing a sweater.
And
To make it even more
Jonathan
funny.
Merriman is wearing a
generic Santa hat.
hat. I do not have
You
a
look
hat
good
on.
as Santa.
He doesn't have the belly for
Where's
it.
your
If-
Christmas
I
spirit?
have
Where's
the
your
belly
holiday
for it.
spirit?
My Christmas
there?
spirit is right here.
It's in your heart.
It's in my heart.
Oh, you have such a
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah. Not
But
really.
yeah, we did decide to.
I'm actually more like Scrooge or the Grinch.
of our group,
humbug.
yes.
Yeah, bah humbug.
Hopefully the three ghosts will come visit you.
I'd like
So
that. I'd
I'm
like
sending
that.
them
That'd be
your
fun.
way.
We have gifts.
You have gifts?
Yeah.
Gifts.
You have gifts.
We,
What?
we decided, Jonathan, you should go first. We decided the Dirty Air, we like to have fun. So I
Of
told
course.
the guys we should
on
come
Dirty Air
up with,
podcast, we like to have
we
fun.
have a lot of fun to come up with a gift, a fun gift for anybody in NASCAR. And what would it be? So, Jonathan, I don't know your gift yet.
Hopefully this is not taken the wrong way, but this is to everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing, to knee brace. Just in case, I mean, they've had some trouble with leg injuries this year. It worked out for Kyle. Denny had surgery over the offseason.
Denny's probably in one right now.
They talked about it at the banquet a little bit. Carl, stop doing backflips. We don't want you to have to use this, but if you guys need any assistance,
There you go.
I got you covered. So, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
All right, so a knee brace. What do you have,
I
Matthew?
went with a little smaller bag. Sorry, guys.
Must
I
be
didn't spend as
jewelry.
much money on you. But I would like to give a gift to all those people that maybe didn't pass tech, got in trouble this year, or maybe like a driver that got in trouble like Matt Kenseth and Joey Logano. Santa would bring you coal. Okay, so there's your coal right for you. But you know what? I'm also going to give it, you think, just to Matt Kenseth because he got in trouble there. But it needs to go to Joey Logano too, so we could be fair because Kenseth Nation would like that. And there's a reason we should give it to Joey Logano. Do you know what that reason is?
What?
He can't grow facial hair. So Joey.
But
Oh no.
do you want
No.
to?
Please stop.
Here's a fact.
So Joey, you can now look like you can grow facial hair.
If you compress coal down hard enough, it'll turn into a diamond. So not all's lost.
Oh,
Hey,
exactly.
is that what
investment.
Cole Pern is?
Cole Pern turned into a diamond.
The pressure
You
of
ever
the
hear the-
season turned him into
You ever
a
hear
diamond?
the John Anderson song? I'm just an old chunk of coal,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be a diamond one day. That's my theme song.
Okay, Chuck, what did you have to have? We said, hey, come up with a Christmas present. Who's your Christmas present?
I actually put off all my shopping until Christmas Eve. I'm that guy. But I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this cup of coffee for Jeff Gordon. And guess what else it's gonna have with it? This right here. If you're watching on NASCAR.com,
An elastic waistband.
it is not an
What is
elastic
that? Oh,
waistband.
that's-
It is
oh.
a remnant from a shoot that we did a couple of years
It's
ago.
from Jack Ingram's Hall of Fame.
Jack Ingram's Hall of Fame. It's made in England. It is the fabric for a Hall of Fame jacket. So a cup of coffee and, a first-class ticket to the Hall of Fame. That's my gift for Jeff Gordon.
Because you gave Jeff Gordon a first class ticket to the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Jeff Gordon's going to get up there. I'd like to thank Ray Evernham, Mr.
Yeah.
Hendrick for the opportunity, and Chuck Bush.
and you know what? That brought the biggest tears, I believe.
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
so.
Well,
He thought about Chuck. That's why he
Tom
cried.
Cruise, eat your heart out. It's all Chuck Bush.
Hey,
But,
Chuck Bush is the Tom
Jonathan,
Cruise of Dirty Air.
Well, I can call you Goose. Anyway, Jonathan,
Speaking of birds,
it's going to be the last time we do this year.
Eagle fact.
Eagle Fact of the Week. And we're going with some holiday music since this is the last time we'll be on here throughout the holiday season.
We
So
should have made it a penguin fact,
a penguin fact?
but we're not. Okay, so the nest holds the eggs, right? So what happens to the eggs in the wintertime? You don't want the eggs to freeze, but the parents of the eagle stuff the nest full of nice,
Wow.
warm, insulating grass, right?
Insulated like your hat.
So, and if it's cloudy outside or it's nighttime, the parents will, they'll rotate shifts but they will never leave the egg unattended unless the sun is out, because the sun can provide enough warmth to keep the egg from freezing. That is how eagles keep their eggs warm. Solar energy.
Fascinating stuff, Jonathan Merriman.
You're welcome. I've exhausted all.
Can you hear this Christmas music?
I gotta
enough?
find
'Cause it's
some more
all
facts for
It's
next year.
holiday music.
I
This is
love
Jingle
holiday
Bells.
music.
It's just a wintry theme because
Is it the Jingle Bell Rock?
It is jingle. It is rockin' Jingle Bells because we can't go Burr Lives on this. But come on down to Charlotte if you're in the area and go. You can go ice skating out here at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. There's a lot of holiday festivities that you can do. You could put a Santa Claus hat on an eagle, and you look like Eagle Santa.
Eagle Santa.
Yeah.
Eagle cost.
Santa, freedom. What's better? Nothing.
Nothing. And after the holidays are over, you can come help undecorate the Christmas trees at the hall and get a fun gift. That's cool. What you said you kind of exhausted yourself on Eagle Facts. Is it going to make a comeback next year?
Fans should determine that.
Yeah, the fans should determine. So be sure to follow at J Merriman, J__ Merriman, at Matthew Dillner, at the Chuck Bush. You can tweet us. You can Instagram us. I don't know if you're on there.
Off my face.
Dillner's got to go clean up after this show. He looks a little bit rough. But for all of us here at NASCAR.com, from everybody up in the booth,
your intro and your tag, you're just not good at talking today.
Matthew Strickert, Justin Beatty, Jonathan Merriman, Matthew Dillner, I'm Chuck Bush.
Rashawn Brown, everybody.
Reminding you to have a happy holiday season, and we will see you in 2016.